All right, so happy Friday. We made it. I took a second to get on today because after I pushed live, I realized I realized I hadn't. Is it Wednesday? No, it's not Wednesday. Shut the fuck up, Herbie. You had me thinking for a second. Anyways, I forgot to post a TikTok, my third TikTok of the day, and I was like, ah, shit. So I had to hurry up and download it and edit it. Ferb, glad to see you're still awake and you haven't crashed for a. I guess you just woke up, so interesting. Interesting choice of when to go to bed. You went to bed at 7 a.m. What did you do all night? Like, how does that work? I haven't seen AM like from the after midnight side in like God, months and months and months. You wrote. Oh, did you get a lot of work done on your play? This whole week I've been sleeping at like 5 to 7. Whoa. That's wild. I can't imagine. So you're going to bed when I'm waking up. Well, I guess I don't know at the time. I don't know where you're at in the world, or like in the U. I think you're in the U.S., but I don't know where you're at on there. So, I don't think you're on the East Coast, but I wake up at 5:45, so it's like right around when you're going to sleep. However, wherever you are in your time zone, I struggle sleeping a lot. Hey man, just keep working out and lifting weights and you wear yourself out. Whenever you have edible. Oh, really? Dude, I literally pass out so hard after I get high. Like, that's the one thing. It's as soon as I smoke or I eat something or I take an edible and I'm just like, might as well just go to bed. I'm gonna have to take a nighttime edible today at like 9. Dude, why don't you just take it now? By the time it kicks in for full strength, you'll be like 7 or 8, and then you can get nice and tired. Dude, Ferb, it's crazy. I was because you're going to a sangria festival tonight. Man, you do so much shit. Holy crap. Good for you, though. I mean, it missed me with all that. I'd just stay home. But what I was gonna say. Oh, dude, I was looking for a streamer talking about mid-90s toys, and there was no one on Twitch. And I was like, dang, too bad. You know, I know someone who used to do it. Maybe she could dust off her collection, but I need to talk to you. Well, you're talking to me right now. What do you want to talk about? I don't know if anyone else is in here. Tom Crossley Live might get in here soon. Same with Tazebra. Remember the whole concept about the age of the Holy Spirit? Yeah, it's oh my gosh, it's 1247. I think it was 1247. Yeah, hold on here. I'll give it to you. It's a thing. Joachim, I think his name Jaochim. Pope. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you right now. Manuscript is very secret. It is, but it got outlawed in a paper. There's a papal bull that came out in 1247. I think it's 1247, and that oh my gosh. Here, I'll just get on my Mac real quick because it's definitely a thing. Yeah, the papal bull, because pretty much is going to make the Pope irrelevant, and so the papal bull came out and it's called like the millennialism. something like that. Almost there. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Jiao Chimites. Because here, I'll connect the dots with you for you real quick. Here. Okay, so you said, how do you know this thought still persists? Because they here here, hold on. Even look. I'll tell, dude. I'll give you, dude. You came to the right person because I have all these sources already taken care of. This article I'm gonna send you is probably the most beginning, the most gonna tie it to cohesive. It'll tie everything together for you. Okay, if you find this article, and I have it too, I have it somewhere. The PDF I can send you if you remind me. Actually, hold on, I might be able to send it to you right now. Let me find this. Is there? How do you know this thought still persisted in the 1560s when it was slammed down in the 1200s? Because of this article I just sent you. Done. It was slammed down in the 1200s. No. It wasn't slammed down. It was outlawed by the Pope. But there, okay, think about how disseminated knowledge was back then. And then, so even if the Pope came out, correct. But even if the Pope came out and said it, it takes a long time for like all these people to believe in it. And so it was still a secret for them. Is there any indication that why were the Franciscans behind it? I can tell you that. I'd have to look at my notes. Is there any indication that Diego de Landa believed it? Yes, because he had a conversation with that was recorded by, I think it was Bernardo de Sahagún, or Sahgun, Sahgun, and Sahagún, and then de Landa thought that the Americas were the promised, were the like the missing tribe of Jews, and then Sahagún thought it was going to keep going farther and farther west. To be honest, this is primarily why I wanted to speak to at the beginning, but then I got distracted by your friend. God damn it. We shouldn't have become close, such friends. The second age would also be 42 generations, which seems to guess the Christian era would end in 1260 with the coming of the Antichrist. Correct. Yeah. Here, let me see if I can find this PDF for you, and I'll send it to you in Discord. Let's see here, maybe author, backup, website, appearances, book covers. Is it? Where did I put it? The concept of the Antichrist is so funny to me. I know it's serious, but it seems so extra and demand. Oh yeah, man, they're wild. Here we are. Where is this? Author. Document. Search. Oh, yep, here it is. Okay. Do you need me to send do you need me to send you that PDF? If you read that PDF, you'll see. That's where like I think that's a big one. But I can send it to you if you'd like. Guy's beliefs influence Puritans. Joachim or whatever? Yes, please. Okay, here. I can send you. I have a shit ton of notes. Because that's why it all looks so, and like, that's why, like, okay, when you were like, oh, I thought you were going to be more scholarly. One, I took that to heart. I am fucking scholarly, motherfucker. Two, there is a lot of, I did like 2 or 3 months of like just steady research just for this and like of a very specific time period. And so this was almost like, I thought of it almost like a dissertation. Here. I'm scholarly too. No one knows more about Furbies than a fucking men. Scholar queen over here. Dude, hold on. I'll show you. I was trying to make these emojis because that's like one of the things that Twitch keeps sending me emails. They're like, oh, you should upload an emoji. Upload an emoji. But here, I'll show you what one of the ones I came up with. Because I figure, okay, like I have the same bald head, I have the same glasses and the same dark t-shirt every day. So I can just make them look like me, but I can't decide if I want to hire somebody and just have someone and pay somebody to make them all or just upload these. Ha ha ha, so funny. So funny I forgot to laugh. All right. I'm so sorry about how I just vanished a couple days ago. My boss asked me to do something, and when I came back, you were done streaming. Klondike, it's cool. It's cool. What was I gonna say? Honestly, I think I was about to play Destiny, so I just figured you didn't want to chill while I played video games. So, I am completely. I understand, right? Like, I'm not gonna ever fault you for that, right? If you want to come talk books and writing, and I go and play first-person shooter, look, like. Yeah, dude. That's my jam. Here, hold on. So this is one of the this is the emoji kind of oh, I don't want to do this. Where am I can do it this way, I guess. So this is what I was gonna do for like my emojis, but like make a bunch of them. So this would be the hello one. But it's like, because I always wear a black t-shirt, I always wear my black glasses, I always have a shaved head, and so I was like, this could work. And then just put up like a bunch of different emojis for that. And then if I wanted to you know, make anything like with a mustache or something like that, I don't know. But anyways, and then I just can't decide if I want to put those up or if I want to hire somebody to just make them for me. Furby, did you get the PDF? So Klondike, Furby initially didn't even know about me on Twitch first. She actually emailed me because of the book that I wrote is very similar to a play that she's writing. And so, okay. And so she reached out to me, emailed me, whatever, and then I was like, yeah, just come by the Twitch. And then we've been shooting the shit for a couple of weeks now. And then she was just like, oh wait, I have to ask you about like the original thing I was going to talk to you about, which is all the research I did for for where they burn books, they also burn people. And Ferb, I have way more like PDFs and links and all like built out and like little and hope. I mean, I could give you the whole doc to be honest with you, because it's like they're all like little nuggets. Stop telling people I emailed you. I don't want people to think I'm a nerd. I meant Klondike. What I meant is I heard that Furby was writing a play similar to my book, and me being the huge nerd that I am, emailed her and asked if we could swap stories and share notes. And so luckily she accepted my invitation to come hang out on Twitch, and now we're talking about a very specific time period, the Yucatan, in a very specific place, the Yucatan Peninsula, from 1549 to 1562. And we're going to teach a college course at some point about this very specific time period. To a community college only, not a university. Dear Miss Famous Playwright, or Mrs. Famous Playwright, I wrote a book about what you are writing about. But anyway, so it's just talking about a lot of it's talking about a case. I need to get in on voice call with you. Yeah, we'll probably have to chat about this because there's a lot to it. Klondike, I'll explain it real quick. If you're even if you don't care, you can tune out. But so pretty much in what 1200s, 11 guy was born 1150. There's a guy Joachim, Joachim, and I wrote a book about what you're writing about before you wrote. Exactly. Well, so anyways, this guy Joachim, I think it's Joachim of Fior, he believed that there was going to come a third age, the age of the Holy Spirit. So the age of the age of the Father was before Christ. The age of the Son was after Christ, and then the age of the Holy Spirit was coming. And so he projected this was going to come in 1260. And what this meant is that the Pope was going to become obsolete, and all the world would kind of bask in Christianity. Well, the Pope outlawed it, and he was like a papal bull, and then this guy, I think he got ostracized. I forget exactly what happened to him. But anyways, there were a people that continued. It's called millenarians. Let me see. Hold on. Millenarianism, and it's where they thought that there was going to be a fundamental transformation of society, and so it kind of was in whispered sects throughout Spain, and eventually there's an argument to be made that the friar who burned Mayan books did believe that there was going to be coming a third age, the age of the Holy Spirit, but I kind of beefed it up and then related it to how the Mayas are the lost tribe of the Jews from Exodus, I believe it is. And then that also gave me license to call my book what I did, because where they burn books, they also burn people is a quote in a play by Heinrich Heine, and that is about the Spanish burning of Jewish texts. No, Jewish texts? Muslim texts, I think, in the Spanish Inquisition. And so it's like kind of this where they burn books thing. Apparently this guy was obsessed with the end of the world. The second age would be 42 generations. Joachim suggested that the Christian era would end in 1260 with the coming of the Antichrist. Out of the utopian age would arrive. Joachim believed that the end would come at any moment. Joachim believed in the New Testament emphasis on the imminence of the end. Yeah. Both what though? Both Furby, both what? Inquisition, fuck, but yes, exactly. Yeah. That's true. I know. I'm just saying, but in the play, there's that specific line I believe was referencing Muslim texts being burned, and which is also very surprising because I think Heinrich Heine was actually Jewish, and a lot of people are wondering why he didn't just talk about the Jewish books being burned. But it turns out it was he didn't want to. I think he didn't want to link it too tightly in his story. I don't know. It was like, written like 1860. But yeah, Furby, I didn't just make up the I didn't just make up the whole what's it called? The Age of the Holy Spirit. I'm surprised you remembered that, actually. There's a line in my script where my character asks, "Why did they burn the books?" I'm gonna name drop your book title. Yeah, do it. It's a quote. Like, that's why I wrote it. That's why I made that my title, because it's a very famous quote. It's actually inscripted on the Holocaust Museum, and I had a couple on TikTok. A couple Jewish people have like said something about it, about how like I'm stealing from like the Jews. I'm like, well, actually, it's not even Jewish. It's about the Muslims. So about Muslim texts, not about the Muslims. But yes. And dude, feel free, honestly. You can kind of take advantage of the messaging on Discord, and just if you have any questions, like I love talking about this stuff. Right now, this is perfect for the stream. I'm fantastic. Like, thank you for asking and engaging. I'm just saying, if you have any questions or want resources or anything when I'm not on stream, just feel free to shoot me a message in the Discord, and we can just keep that thread going. Because then I can share the documents I have as well, all the PDFs and stuff that I downloaded. Because they're all from like, there's shit from JSTOR, there's shit from like, okay, listen to this. Okay, listen to this. This is actually cool. One of my good friends is a librarian at the Library of Congress. And so she helped me get a hold of a couple of PDFs that I could not find online, and a couple of scans that of something, I forget. I'd have to look. But she got me like she found and like got me access to the scans of these texts that are like not digitized yet. They're just pictures. And so I had to read the picture on the museum quality scan, because she works at the Library of Congress, so she could get me access to like all this shit. So, yeah. So yeah, that's what I did for a couple months before I wrote my book. That's why it's funny sometimes when people give me shit about my what's it called? They give me shit about like writing the book in the first place. I'm like, do you know how much research went into this? Like, it's like, if people only realized how much like I'm trying to just help them understand what happened, and then it's just like, you wouldn't fucking hate on me for being too white for whatever dumb reasoning they have for why I can't write this shit. All right, let me make a quick clip about writing. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think either one could work. Fahrenheit 451 could work too. But my book title is also like a more famous quote. Like, it's a hella famous quote. Like I said, it's on the Holocaust Museum. It's from a really famous play. Like, people recognize the quote sometimes before they even realize that like it's a book. They're like, "Oh my god." While reading your book, I kept thinking, oh, this is almost word for word from Delanda's book. Yeah. Well, okay, so part of that was because I wanted to make it seem like his experience. Oh, true. Dude, okay, yeah, but you're like literally, I could probably count on like 2 hands the amount of people that are going to realize that. Especially if you look at the passage about the animals, about the spiders, the snakes, the scorpions, the ants. That's all literally just pulled from Relacion. All right, let's see here. Tips for writing a novel. So the tips for writing a novel. The biggest tip I can give is just to make sure you focus on the character. You have to really dial in on what the character wants and how they're going to get it. So the beginning of the story, you have to introduce the desire of what the character is shooting for, what they want. They're trying to become a Jedi. They're trying to save the world, whatever it is. And then at the end of the novel, you should know that the desire has they have either accomplished or not accomplished their desire. So that's kind of the bulk of it. And so if you really focus on the character and what they're trying to do and the struggle the struggle the world's putting up and the characters that help them and how they change during the journey, what they learn, and then have it end with a definite either fulfillment of the desire or rejection of the desire, then you kind of have the bare bones of a book. And then from there, my second tip for writing the novel would just be to get an editor, right? Like, so it's like once you dial in on a character, you pick your character, pick your desire, write that out, but then also talk to an editor, let them help you craft the story, let them help you get the writing down, the sentence structure down. And you can really take advantage of coming up with a high quality product. So if you have any other questions, you can leave a comment and we'll talk about it on stream, on my Twitch stream every Monday through Friday at 4. Hope to see you there. Furby. All right, Ferb, I'll talk to you. But I hadn't seen anything about the Age of the Holy Spirit in my research. Yeah, I got you. All right, so now let's get to the meat of what I was going to talk about today. I do love talking about all the research I did for Where They Burn Books because that shit is fascinating. There is, pages and pages of links and data that I took for that one book I wrote. But I did want to talk today. I had a little bit of a thing prepared for everyone about 5 books that you can read this summer. Good summer books, science fiction, fantasy, bent, because that's kind of my jam. And so, without further ado, I will start. The first one is Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. So Thrawn is a super smart alien from what's called the Chiss Ascendancy. And so this is the Chiss Ascendancy exists outside of what we think of as a Star Wars world. So in the Chiss Ascendancy, everyone is this kind of this blue skin. But even within the Chiss Ascendancy, Thrawn is unique. He is he's obsessive. He's not good socially. He doesn't pick up on social cues. In short, he's neurodivergent. He is somewhere on the spectrum. And so it is just wholly refreshing seeing somebody who is neurodivergent, who is the hero of the story, who is this kind of iconic Star Wars character, and he is kicking ass, taking names, and he is just so much just has so many skills. Even Timothy Zahn, the author, really does a great job of harping and highlighting the skills that Thrawn has instead of talking about the things he does not have. And so it's kind of like a foregone conclusion that he does not have social skills like the rest of the people do. He doesn't have the political kind of machinations that the rest of his contemporaries have, but he is still kicking ass, taking names, the hero of the story. It's like very it's military sci-fi-esque, but and I don't really read military sci-fi, but the fact that like having a neurodivergent character in fiction, I think this is why it makes it. I mean, he's my favorite character by far. Like, I have the little bobblehead with Thrawn. I have the comic books with Thrawn. This is signed by the author. So Thrawn, definitely a great introduction to. There's 6 Thrawn books, and so this one is the first of them. And this one actually you get to see a certain Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker before both before and after he makes the transition from Anakin to Darth. So that's a good one. Um, second one I had that's a good summer read. Oh God, I lent this to my friend and he fucked it up. The Wind Up Bird Chronicle by my favorite author Haruki Murakami. Um, it's just so interesting and weird. Every single one of his books, I start reading, and his descriptions of the mundane make them seem magical. Like just the most basic shit, just cooking dinner, putting on a record, and you know, being yourself. There's nobody that writes being a unique individual while also being a part of the masses better than him. Like you kind of understand. That's why I like Murakami though, because you understand what it's like to be one of many and also a singular one. And so this story is about oh right, this is the one about Toru Okada. So there's a guy who's looking for a missing cat, and so he goes around different places in Japan searching for these kind of like missing ghosts. And there's another gentleman who I'm thinking of, no, that's Kafka on the Shore. Sorry, I got my like because I've read so many of his books, I get them confused. I apologize. Oh yes, this is it. He's looking for the cat, and then there's the like almost like a war mystery that's decades old. So that's like more like literary fiction, but it's one of the ones I can't put down when I start. Flowers for Algernon is the third book. So this is super duper duper sad, and I probably I would say I don't know if I'd read it again. I'll be honest with you, but I have read it multiple times. Okay, so pretty much the main character is he has a learning disability, and there's a procedure that turns him into a super high functioning genius level adult. First they perform this procedure on a mouse, and then they perform it on a human. Well, partway through the book the mouse starts deteriorating, and then he realizes that his time where he's aware of himself, and he's like he's no longer, his time of not being simple is going to end. And so it kind of deals with it deals with loss, but like losing yourself. It's very interesting. I loved it. I can't even put it into words really, but it's just so like that it's like that's like my greatest fear, is that I like descend into this place where I don't understand what's going on around me. Third one, Black Sun. I literally just read this one again, and then I read the sequel. This one's fantastic. It is about, I have actually this tattoo because of it. So the crow tattoo. So pretty much there's a guy who is bred to be a god, and he goes back to the city where his mother came from, and he has to take it back, and he has to avenge this they call it the Night of Knives, where the palace guards went out and killed all of his people. And so this is a great introduction. I mean, there's things that happen, right? He goes to do whatever, and there's battles, but this is an introduction to the world where there's giant animals, there is different types of magic. I think there's like 9 different types of magic. It's like dream magic, blood magic, stone magic, water magic, like all these types of things. And it's set in a pre-Columbian world, so like Latin America, the southern hemisphere, but before Columbus landed. So it is kind of a double whammy of fantasy and like culture that you don't really see very often. It's not very it's not talked about very often. This kind of like you hear about, like almost like in the Vikings, you hear about like the old Europe type of shit, and it's like, yeah, like there's like it's to be honest with you, I just think of it as like white people trying to like come up with a culture about why they're so fucking violent and ridiculous, but neither here nor there. But here it's like you see like other representation. So it's like, oh, Latin America before Columbus, what a magic story looks like there. And then the last one, fifth season, N.K. Jemisin. The last two are actually both women of color writers. So I like to be inclusive, but I mean, it's not even because they're women of color. This is like just legitimately a fucking awesome book. So the coolest thing about the fifth season, is there are pretty much the magic in that time, or in this story, is that you can control rocks. And so people, there's like different abilities of control, and it's kind of this thing where she describes throwing your awareness underneath of you, and so you kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so interesting. And she does a great job. That's why I think it won the Hugo Award in like 2015 or 16. Like, it's this fantastic magic system and story. But pretty much there's a woman, she's like this great, I think it's called Origi. And so she can throw her awareness in, control the rocks around her, and then she meets this other guy and then has this great adventure, but then settles down, calls it quits on that life, tries to settle down into her small town existence, has kids, but the problem is one of her kids shows the ability, and that puts a mark on them, and so she has to pretty much fight to save them. And so she's going across, she has to pass over something. Oh no, she's running from her former teacher. That's what, because I read the trilogy and I'm trying to like separate out which one's which. But so she's running from her former teacher, and he's this super powerful dude, so you don't know if she's gonna like be able to teach herself fast enough to learn how to like whoop his ass, or like if he's gonna like pretty much like put her out of commission type thing. It's really good. So I might read that one again soon. I'm definitely gonna read Wind Up Bird Chronicle again next. I've been kind of working my way through all my Murakami books, because I'm gearing up to write another book. And so when I'm getting ready to write another book, I have to really take care of what goes in here. So I have to like, and I don't really mind if I watch like junk TV or listen to junk music, but in terms of reading, like I usually have 5 books going at a time. So I have to make sure that at least 3 of those 5 are high quality fiction that I want to emulate through my own writing, and then at least 1 or 2, then one of the other ones has to be research about the topic I'm doing. So for example, I'm writing a book about indigenous magic, so I'm going to write about the Inca kind of empire and what happened with them. So I have 1 book about the last days of the Incan Empire. I'm going to have 2 books about that are like high, like almost like aspirational writing, and then I also throw in a very easy to read young adult fantasy novel called Redwall. And so that's going to kind of make it like, it's like take these concepts from the high quality writing, make them super accessible with like the kind of the young adult fantasy, including this kind of this information from this nonfiction book about the Incas, and then hopefully with those inputs I can kind of put it in the blender and send out a quality text about for the next Jesus Chan book. So we'll see. I'm excited to get started. I feel like I've been kind of listless. I haven't written anything since the middle of January, end of January. Oh, I've written blogs and all kinds, but I haven't like sat down and taken a big bite of a book, because I had to publish 3 of them in the last couple months, and so I'm finally getting over the hump for the publishing. I going to Machu Picchu next Wednesday, and so I'll be able to settle down and really get some work done on the outline, and try and find times in the morning that I can crank out the manuscript. So, and I already had the book publisher. I already have, I'm not publisher, the book cover designer. I have my editor. They already know by the end of the year I'm going to send them another book. So it's just kind of like whenever I'm done, they're ready to go as soon as I'm done, which is I love. But yeah, dang, that's a lot of talking about books. I feel like I could talk about all these books for so long.